Hey guys, it's Becky. This week for Thrifty Thursday, Leslie and I are doing paper clips. So I did pull out a couple that I have here. I also pulled out some naked paper clips in case I want to make one for myself. There is a challenge going on at Cherry on Top to make a paper clip, so I might do that. I'm not sure. Brads. So I have these brads, which I've recently used, and these ones, which I recently used. I have these ones, My Mind's Eye, and this random one. I don't know where this is from, but those are all brads in there. And then this little pack has brads in it. I'm not sure what all I'm going to use. I might end up pulling some green out of there. And then the third thing is fussy cutting. So I'm going to be using this paper pad, Heart of Home by Jen Hadfield. I love this. It's so pretty. Have you guys seen it? I picked it up at Tuesday morning a couple months ago. It is so fabulous. I love Jen Hadfield. And you know what? She is quickly becoming one of my favorites. Not kidding. So anyways, I think I'm going to be cutting out some of these maybe. I just pulled out several sheets I might want to use. I think here's something I already previously had fussy cut. I think what I'm going to be doing is I actually think I might use this as my background, but I might cut out some of these branches to put on top of this. I'm not sure. I am scrapbooking. Hold up. Sorry, my photo was still on my printer. These tiny photos. I don't know if you can see them very well. This was the aftermath of Hurricane Michael at my house. We just lost a couple shutters and there's branches down all over the yard. So we really lucked out. But the branches totally tie in to this story. So let's see what I can do. Alright guys, I am going to be using the Jen Hadfield's Heart of Home paper pad for my papers on this layout. I am going to use this brown one as my background. I have really been getting into this big printed backgrounds here lately. I did use one last week before last, something like that, with this big sun up in the top right. I don't know what it is, but they're really appealing to me these days. I am inking all the edges with that Tim Holtz Distress ink in Vintage Photo. Right here I'm going to go ahead and try and get this straight. I am doing a scrap lift. This is of someone named Loves to Stamp at a Cherry on Top. If you go look in the gallery, you will find her over there. But I did just see this layout and I thought, well, this is a good one to do just for this little small group of photos. Plus, I could use this big background as my background. So I went ahead and chose this one to go ahead and scrap lift. I am going to use several different pieces of paper and I'm just going to kind of tuck them in around. I think when she did her layout, I think she might have used journaling cards or maybe Project Life cards because they're rounded. But I just used papers and then rounded the corners on my own. You can't really see my crocodile that I'm using to round the corners. You might be able to, but I don't really do it on screen. I pull it in closer to my body and you can't really see it all that well. So this week, Leslie and I are doing, which I know I already previously said, but I'll tell you again, we're doing fussy cutting, paper clips, and brads. And I'm also going to be doing this for a challenge at a Cherry on Top, which is a prompt challenge, which you had to scrap bad weather things. And also, I do believe the patterned paper challenge where you had to use 5 or more patterned papers. Nope, and that's not what I did. I ended up doing the technique challenge. And I don't remember what the technique was. No clue, I can't remember. Oh, I remember. You had to make a paper clip. So I did make a paper clip to use on this one as well. So I still do use more than 5 pattern papers because that was my initial thing that I was going to use, but then changed my mind and decided to use the paper clip instead. I do super love doing challenges. It's kind of my thing these days. It just always gives me a little bit of a spark to do something a little bit more, a little bit different. So I will end up pulling out these stickers I'm going to be using for my title. And the reason I'm telling you this in advance is because I am going to lose some footage. They're from Citrus Twist, and they're kind of this weird gray color, but they've turned brownish over time. And I just wanted to use a couple of them before I throw the pack away. And I thought on photos where you're having a hurricane, and on papers where you're using branches and trees and leaves and it's outdoorsy and maybe a little bit dirty, and using vintage photo ink to distress the edges, this might be the only place I can use those alphas. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and pull out and use. I do try to use my T-square ruler to get things a little bit straight-ish. As you can see, I did round the corners on this one. I'm going to end up putting several layers of papers under there. I think I used like maybe 6 different papers. And one of the challenges that Leslie and I are doing are for fussy cutting. So that paper that I had showed you in the opening, you can see over there on the right hand side, I did cut out some of those branches. Man, that took me forever. My initial thought was that I was going to cut out a lot more branches than what I did, but I've been on a real time crunch in March. I've been just super busy with stuff, and I ended up just cutting out those 2 branches. I would have liked to have cut out a lot more than that and had a lot more branches around the page. I just didn't have time to do it. The other challenge that we had was paper clips, and so since there was that technique challenge on a cherry on top, I did use a paper clip. I made this cute little paper clip. It has a banner and it's layered over with a heart. The heart says "You are my home," and I am going to put that up on the photo. I think I have already showed it. It's not on there currently, but I will put it back on there. And then the third thing was brads. Now I did pull out a whole bunch of brads that I had the choice of using, but I ended up going with the My Mind's Eye brads that are in gold, and I scattered several of those around the page. So at this point I am still just working on my layers. Most of what I put down, well, not most of, all of what I put down for embellishments other than the brads, they are all pieces that were fussy cut out of papers that were in this paper pad. So I do have several hearts. I have a little saying that was on a 3x4 card. It says "Home Sweet Home." The bits that I used to make that paper clip, those were all, one of them was a branding strip, and the one that says "You Are My Home" was also off of a 3x4 card. You can see right there I'm putting it in the top left hand corner of that photo. That is where it is going to stay. And I think off camera I do take out my gold Signo pen, and I'm going to color on the paper clip to turn it gold, because I did not want it to be the silver color, especially since I am putting down gold brads. There is where I lost a whole bunch of footage. So you can see I have the flowers down there and the leaves. I mean, there's not much to this page. I did not do a lot of layering. I have the 2 branches, I have 3 flowers, and the clip. And then the little piece that says "Home Sweet Home" that was also fussy cut out of something. That's the only thing you missed. I will come in here in a minute and tuck in one more piece of paper, one on the left and one on the right. And I think that might have been a branding strip as well. It just adds a little more gray in there, because I had the gray down there in the bottom left with the "Home Sweet Home," and also that one piece of paper that's tucked in on the right side. I thought I might want a little bit more gray in there, so I will tuck in those other 2 strips of paper, one on each side. I am sticking in my brads. I just use this paper piercer to stick the holes in the page, and I will cover up the backs of the brads with some washi tape so that it doesn't get caught on the other page as I'm slipping it into a page protector. There's those gray bits that I was talking about. They have daisies on them. I only allow the daisies to show on the left hand side. On the right hand side, I tuck it in enough to where you can just get the color of it. I will take out the Heidi Swapp Color Shine in gold and give that a splatter around the page. Now the gold brads and the gold Heidi Swapp Color Shine are not the same tone of gold, and I am perfectly fine with that. I really love these brads. In fact, I think I might end up keeping them out. There's a few more gold left on that pack, and there are some brown ones or kind of bronze color, and I think they're fabulous. I kind of want to use them again, so I think I'll keep those out. Alright guys, don't forget to go over to Leslie's page and see what she came up with for this week's Thrifty Thursday challenge. I haven't seen it yet, so I am as excited as you are to see it. I want to thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.